Kevin Hincks live at the CBOE for our pre-belt playbook. And of course, everybody, we're seeing videos of people at the airports. And, obviously it's so much more than that. But the government set to move through, get this done.
Good morning, Nicole. Yes, yesterday was probably a travel day for members of the House of Representatives as they get back to Washington, hopefully for a vote this morning that will send the bill over to President Trump to sign and open the government. It'll still take a couple days to get everything back to normal, but we'll see how quickly that goes. But there's good news, but it's slow moving, as you know, with a Veterans Day holiday yesterday, probably a slow day for air travel. House of Representatives have to get back to Washington to vote today. So should happen, should be no problem. And then we'll get the government open. And then, like I said, there may be some lags in some of the services, but we're on a good path towards getting the government open ahead of the Thanksgiving travel holiday period.
Yeah, and, we have other things that are happening today. Of course, Fed speakers, and, there was a lot of talk. Remember when Goolsbee said, look, he felt uncomfortable. He thought they needed to be cautious whether or not they cut again when the government shutdown was not providing the data that they needed. Then now, look, we're going to get some data, and we've been getting some soft data at least, and you have a slew of Fed speakers today, right?
Yeah, exactly right. I think when you look and see 6 Fed speakers on the calendar, Nicole, it's probably going to be 8 by the time the day's over, as there's always a couple that sneak in. But we'll get John Williams this morning, Anna Paulson this morning, Christopher Waller this morning, Raphael Bostic around noontime Eastern, Stephen Myron will speak around noontime, and then Susan Collins around 4 in the afternoon. So 5 that are on the calendar, Fed speakers today. We also get a 10-year note auction coming out about 1 p.m. Eastern. That'll give us, remember, the 10-year note is the benchmark for interest rates. So that'll give us some more information as well. But, with all these Fed speakers coming out, I expect a lot of, headlines coming from those Fed speakers on how they feel about interest rates and inflation and the labor market. They're talking about their dual mandate. So, I expect a lot of headlines today from that. Scott Bessent is out there making headlines already this morning, talking about tariff deals in the next couple days. So there's a lot of headlines for this market to consume and digest this morning. But right now, futures strong to start the day. I'm sure you and Jenny will talk about AMD in a moment, but they have been all over the tape this morning. That stock up about, almost $15 higher to start the day. Yeah.
All right, here's the non-breaking news. Stephen Myron's going to ask for 50 basis point cut at the next meeting. I mean, he's been out talking about that. He was out yesterday, too. I saw some of his commentary yesterday. So he'll be on the same page. That won't move the markets, but maybe somebody else might. Let's talk about the mortgage apps that we've been getting in. Yesterday, Trump administration actually floated a 50-year mortgage, making it more affordable. Just the idea that maybe it would make it more affordable for folks to afford a mortgage. Obviously, it's just something that's been floated. But what are we seeing with mortgage apps right now?
Yes, mortgage applications data that we get every Wednesday morning from the Mortgage Bankers Association. Mortgage apps, purchases, great news, up 5.8%. Purchases week over week. Refis, not as good, down 3.4%. That makes the composite for mortgage applications positive 0.6%. So really good data from purchases, not as great from refis, but good solid data. I'm not sure what a 50-year mortgage will do. How many people that are in their homes for 50 years, but I think the Trump administration is coming up with new ideas to try to attack the housing market. I think they believe it's the key for growth in the U.S. over the next couple of years. They've got to get the housing market going. I think more ideas, the better, Nicole.
And look, I mean, when you talk about the refis down, the refis Anybody who wanted to refi in the last month or so probably did it. There was one day that we saw that was up 60% or something. So there have been a slew of refis that have been happening. So not surprised to see the down arrow here. It does make me feel good that there are some new mortgage applications. That gives me some optimism. How about Bank of America consumer checkpoint that we've been seeing? It shows people are in fact spending.
Yeah, if you're a data geek like I am, the Bank of America Consumer Checkpoint that came out this morning, just a ton of data on the U.S. consumer. And the U.S. consumer is strong. Nicole, here's the numbers. Total credit and debit card spending over the year for the month of October up 2.4%. That's a big number. Month over month from last month up 0.3. That's a seasonally adjusted. That's the fifth consecutive month of spending increases. Holiday shopping, it kind of goes by household, right? If household up 5.7% month over month or year over year through October. Retail transaction volume slightly declined though since January. So more money being spent, less overall volume from retail being spent. And higher income versus lower income households, higher income households spending up 2.7%, lower income up 0.7%. After tax wages for higher income households up 3.7%, for lower income up 1%. However, 62% of respondents to the Bank of America holiday survey reported feeling some levels of financial strain. So just a ton of information. And by the way, one thing they say, all of this would have been better without the government shutdown, Nicole.
Oh, for sure. All right. Well, thank you, Kevin Hincks. Great to see you. Appreciate it there at the CBOE.